The sprites of all the treasure bags indicates that they are tied with 2 loops around the top, with 1 cord dangling to the right. The beetle, as seen in different levels of beetle endurance and might, gains arms as the buff becomes more powerful. Bunny Stew gives the well-fed buff for 10 minutes. A bottle of unprocessed grape juice gives the exquisitely stuffed buff for 16 minutes. This implies that 2 grapes are several times as filling as a whole bunny stew. Gold is nutritious in Terraria, just like in Minecraft. There are 2 platinum crown types, the Royal Tiara and the Platinum Crown in Terraria, and 2 golden crown types, the Star Princess Crown and the Golden Crown. In an old video, I calculated that a single platinum coin was worth about $22.5 million at the time. An agile coin gun has a use time of 7, meaning that I shoot 60 over 7, or roughly 8.57 coins per second. This means I can waste about $192.8 million per second. That means it will only take me about 20 minutes to delete Jeff Bezos' net worth. The tax collector is a reference to Ebenezer Scrooge from A Christmas Carol, which is why he hates Santa. Well, Santa also just hates him right back. A bit un-Christmassy if you ask me. Then again, it's basically June right now. Vile powder or vicious powder is not only corrupt or evil, but also poisonous. Make sure you're wearing the appropriate particulate respirator when splashing this. The companion cube depreciates the most in all of Terraria. It loses 4 platinum of value upon leaving the NPC buy menu, or 80% of its value. The treasure bag of the Brain of Cthulhu contains a heart, even though it's the Brain of Cthulhu. Mithril as a name is altered from the standard name for the fictional metal, Mithril. This is unlike the other fictional metals, Orichalcum and Adamantite, which are unchanged. As far as I know, the fastest a Terraria YouTuber has ever grown in 1 month is Chippy Gaming in May 2020, gaining a record 87,000 subs in 1 month. The second fastest month was likely by Crabbar, gaining 66,000 subs after his Terra Calum series blew up. Barbecue ribs dropped from skeletons in the Hardmode dungeon. This was likely added due to skeletons having exposed ribs, but then you realize that barbecue ribs have meat on them. Oh, and also, 2 glasses of grape juice are better than a full rack of ribs. Thanks, Terraria. If you shake a forest tree, it has a 0.3333% chance to drop a living wood wand, but only a 0.3322% chance to drop its counterpart, the leaf wand. This 0.0011 discrepancy is a blemish upon humanity. Last video I mentioned that the flask of venom is literally drinking venom. A few people pointed out that venom doesn't need to be strictly poisonous when ingested, which is true, it is an important distinction. Well, here's the flask of poison, which is literally poison. And we're not even mentioning the flask of fire, cursed flames, and the flask of party. Not the flask of gold though, don't worry, gold is not only edible but nutritious. Air resistance doesn't exist in Terraria. If you construct a walled tunnel, fill it with water, and then remove the water with a sponge, you fall with the same velocity, since the tunnel would have to be devoid of air. The target dummy makes a zombie death sound upon death. Unfortunately, this sack of dead wheat can't die, until you mine it at least. The third character of the second paragraph of the official 8th anniversary Terraria lore is E. The third word to the same paragraph is. I ran a random number generator of the Terraria item IDs and got hash 1146, which corresponds to the item's super dart trap. Related fact, the darts from the dart trap travel at 90 feet per second, or 98.75 kilometers per hour. The Legacy Console achievement Corruptible is awarded when you have a world that has half corrupt. A similar achievement, Hallowed Be Thy Name, is awarded when you have half your world hallowed. The descriptions of these names have different punctuation and capitalization formats. The Vortex Pillar is the only pillar moon to have a ring. The achievement Star Destroyer describes destroying the pillars which are based on the moon. The moon is not a star. Corrupt and Crimson Grass is harder to cut than Hollowed or Pure Grass, since the lawnmower cannot mow them. King Slime and Queen Slime both have children. Assuming they have both never met, that would make them biologically asexual. The Hermes boots aren't based on Hermes' sandals, the Terraria. Unlike the Terraria, they cannot make you fly and are boots, not sandals. Following the chance to consume formula, if truffle worms worked as regular bait, they would have a 1 over 113 or 0.884% chance to be consumed as bait when using a tackle box or similar accessory. That would be over 10 times less chance to be consumed compared to the best bait, the master bait. The meteor shower increases fallen star chances. Maybe those meteors aren't really meteors. Coffee drops from angry trappers, man-eaters, and snatchers, but also the Bone Lee. The Orange Zappinator and Legacy Zappinator have ever so slightly different shades of orange. The Goblin Tinkerer is bald, and that's probably why he hates the stylist. At first, the princess seems like a random deposed princess wanderer, but the ending sentence of her bestiary line reads, "She appreciates all of her subjects from all walks of life." This could mean that you are her subjects, as she lives in the town. What's even weirder is that the princess is a child. The Wisp in a Bottle is a flaming skull based on the Will of the Wisp, a mythical ghost-like that kills travelers in swamps. It is also what the Terrasteel Wisp is based on. The ratio between the defense of the Dread Nautilus and the percent chance to get copper coins from the lucky coin squared times x minus the base health of a green slime in Master Mode cubed times x plus the drop chance of the slime staff from said slime times the king slime's health in Master Mode is this graph. I did just choose those values at random from the wiki. The titanium shards from the titanium barrier buff seem to oscillate between blue and red or pink colors. The buff icons for well-fed, plenty satisfied, and exquisitely stuffed shows a chicken leg, then a crab, then a full chicken or turkey. Ichor is the blood of the gods, yet the Terrarian drinks it at his leisure and sprays it on metal worms indiscriminately. The Red Rider is an air rifle, and the only one in the game. The Skeleton Sniper is probably a dead German soldier from World War II, as its gun resembles a FG-42 sniper rifle, a World War II era rifle, and it wears a Stahlhelm, a German helmet worn in the World Wars. Their bestiary entry supports this, saying they're a part of an elite military unit. However, the Rusted Company Standard and Ragged Brotherhood sigils these snipers spawn next to depict a sword and a weird cross thing, which do not resemble any World War II era insignia or even a gun. The Confetti Gun was the 1000th item added to the game, and it has the item ID 1000. This is when I would choose a tile ID to compare it to, but there are only 623 tile IDs. Item IDs start from the item ID 1, the Iron Pickaxe, but the tile IDs start from 0, the Dirt Block. The Dirt Block is also item ID 2 because the Iron Pickaxe came first. The princess, despite being a monarch, still pays taxes. Everyone the tax collector likes hates him, no one likes him. Thus is the eternal pain of being a taxman. In your Terraria directory, you can find changelog.txt, which is every single changelog of every Terraria update back to version 1.0, 10 years ago. As of the update 1.2.4.3, this file is 394,908 bytes, and would take 5 hours and 51 minutes to read out loud, according to wordcounter.net. The most common word is fixed, which makes sense, followed by now and issue. The mechanic sells all but one of the accessories used to craft a grand design, with the ruler being sold by the Goblin Tinkerer. This is despite the fact that the mechanic sells a type of ruler, the mechanical ruler. The frozen turtle shell claims to put a shell around the player when below 50% life, but instead opts for this lumpy figure-8 blue orb instead. The discount card is possibly one of the greatest monetary-based items in all of Terraria, yet it has a sell value of 1 gold. The discount card does not affect the price of healing at the nurse. This is contrary to the fact that the achievement for spending money at her is the frequent flyer, which references discount programs on airlines. The Selenian enemy's name means related to the moon, and it was born forth from Selene, the goddess of the moon in Greek mythology. According to Terraria, the jungle rose is prettier than the extremely similar Nature's Gift item, despite them having nearly no differences other than color. Celestial cuffs aren't even closed at the end of the shackle. That makes them rather useless to me as handcuffs. The Dryad is over 500 years old. Since the lore states that the Dryads were the ones who conquered Cthulhu, this means the modern state of the Terraria world is actually rather young. To get the Resonance Scepter, you must murder 8 children on average. The moon mask's curves seem to be impossible considering the shape of the player's face and the hardness of the player's skull. Djinn's Curse is a leggings armor piece that grants Featherfall. It says it grants you slow fall at the cost of your feet, but it scams you. It also takes your legs and your knees. The fried egg drops from spiders and scorpions. What kind of egg is that, anyway? The Dye Trader is Middle Eastern in origin, as the scimitar she drops is a curved sword of Middle Eastern origin. The painting The Truth Is Up There includes a bunny as the organism lifted by the UFO's beam. The regular robe, ruby robe, sapphire robe, amethyst robe, and amber robes have the same style with parallel sleeves, while the topaz, diamond, and emerald robes have outstretched sleeves. You will notice that each robe has different features in the sparkle around the collar, front, and sleeves, however. The Orchakam headgear has horns reminiscent of a samurai's helmet. A sextant can still be used underground in Terraria, despite them not being able to use that way in real life. Then again, a real sextant is used to read your location, not display the phase of the moon. Gem squirrels' tails are sharper than regular squirrels' tails. Dripping lava emits light, but cannot damage players. Some sinks in Terraria come with storage underneath, while some do not. Thank you for making it to the end of the video.